I'm back. And I'm in for the night. I'm in for the night, man. When I was doing my live earlier, there was a knock on the door, and they were having a pizza party in the conference room, man. And I got an invitation, and I was like, man, I just finished eating. You know, I said, well, why don't you take something? I said, no, I'm good. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. Appreciate it very much. But thank you. And then I had to let the lady clean my room. So now I'm back. But you know, looking back and reflecting, um, when Metro stole my job, I just set my heart on going to church and serve, because I couldn't, when I was working, I couldn't go to church. So now that I ain't working, so let me just immerse myself in church and serve. I started out on the parking lot ministry. Then I went to the usher ministry. Well, when I was on the parking lot ministry, because I had a CDL, I was also in the transportation ministry. I drove the bus. That's what I did. Matter of fact, I helped probably about 3 or 4 dudes get their CDLs, to drive for the church. And then I went from, I had the parking lot ministry, transportation ministry, the usher ministry, and the media ministry. I ran the cameras too. I was doing it all. And I just, and when I saw a need, I didn't ask nobody. I just jumped in and filled in. And seeing what I learned was, when you really learn how to serve people, not with an agenda, not with an ulterior motive, but with a clean heart, man, it'll teach you how to recognize opportunities when they come upon you, because you're a server. Okay? And a classic example was like this morning, man. I saw the general manager of the hotel, who's a woman, out there shoveling snow. And no, let me do that. No, let me do that. Okay? Because I want to see you succeed anyway. So let me come out here and help you. And in doing so, they say we'll give you a free night, because you'll recognize opportunities. See, and this is why it's going to be important that you learn how to listen to your intuition. Because any idea that you get is going to come through your intuition. And if you don't know your intuition, if you don't know that voice, 9 times out of 10, you're going to miss it. See, you're going to be skeptical of it. But when you know that voice, that's your intuition, and it tells you something, you're going to do it. You ain't going to question it. Sometimes, man, God shows me how he has his hand, especially when I'm down in front of that White House, man. I can look at people and I say, are you from here? And they say, how do you know that? I don't know. I play the national anthem enough that I see the characteristics of people. But, man, I could look at some people and say, are you from Cameroon? Are you from Uganda? Are you from Senegal? Are you from Korea or China or the Philippines or Indonesia or Colombia? See, and give you an example, like for me, the difference that I've noticed of most of the people that come from Colombia versus most of the people that come from the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is more on the black side. You know, they're more on the black side. Colombia, they got blackness in them. You can see that blackness, but it's more on the white side for Colombia. That's how I see the difference. That's how I've learned to recognize the difference because I'm paying attention. You know, it's like people from India versus Nepal. They look alike, but there's a slight little difference that you can pick up when you see it, and all of this comes from serving, man. From honestly seeing needs and just trying to make them happen, trying to take care of them, and that's all serving is, man. But you can serve with an ulterior motive, and you ain't gonna get the same results. You'll get some results, but it won't be the same. That's why I'm saying you got to have a clean heart when you out trying to help people, when you trying to serve people, when you trying to be with people. See, that people don't want to hear this because 9 times out of 10, they're the ones that want to be served. But see, they ain't gonna humble themselves to serve them. And listen, if you really want to see how messy a church is, serve. You want to see how messy some of the folk are in church, serve. And the church that I went to, the 2 guys that gave me the most grief are the ones that end up leaving the ministry and their wives. One guy, he didn't even tell his wife. He just left. He just left her and their daughter and took off and got with somebody else. And that was the one I had the most conflict with. We were in the ushers ministry, and you know, and he's the one I had the most conflict with. Cause man, I was about, see, when like they wanted all of the seats filled in. They didn't want to get a camera shot and there was an empty seat. And you got some folk that want to sit where they want to. And see, when I saw an empty seat, I make everybody move down so that the end seat is the easiest to fill. Okay? That's what I would do. Everybody please move down so I can fill this seat. And I gotta tell you, man, only until I started serving in church did I see how messy people really are. And be praising the Lord. Holy Ghost filled. Holy Ghost filled. And evil is shit. I'm telling you, Holy Ghost filled and evil in church. Come to church mad and leave church mad. Why you come? If you're going to come here mad and you're going to leave, man, you done wasted your time. But man, learn how to serve other people. And you'll recognize opportunities. When an opportunity come up to you, you'll recognize it. Okay? That's what it's going to teach you. I'm talking about when you're serving from your heart, man, when you're serving for your heart, you ain't got no ulterior motive. That was a time we had a church up in Ellicott City, and they had a Saturday service. And man, I had a guy that would um, meet me at the subway, pick me up at the subway in New Carrollton, because that's where he lived. He lived over by New Carrollton. I would ride the subway over to New Carrollton. He'd pick me up, take me to church, and then after church, drop me back off at the subway, and I go home. Sometimes I rode my bike, sometimes I didn't. Sometimes, at one point, I was catching a bus. Man, in fact, I could walk to the subway from my house. And let me show y'all a picture. Let me show y'all a picture here. And when I took this picture, man, I had to ride my bike down to Martin Luther King, because I didn't even have money to get on the bus. I didn't have money to get on the bus. I didn't. I honestly didn't have money to ride the bus. And so I just took my time in my suit and went down and took to this photo shoot. And this was the article. I'm trying to find the article. Oh, I just saw that picture. Here we go. This one, right here. Man, my bike is right at my feet. When I took this boat, man, I was so broke I couldn't even didn't even have bus fare to go. This was in 2018 when this article came out. In 2018. And silly me thinking that, man, if you can get some exposure in the Washington Post, then that's going to kind of legitimize your business. That's going to shoot you off into the atmosphere. And that article fell just like that. It fell just like that. Got little to nothing from it. And I'm like, man, but I can't let this go. I can't give up. I can't quit. I still got to persevere and hold on. And by me being a server, then I could see opportunities that'll benefit me. And I'm a former street vendor, so that's a double-edged sword that I got, that I can recognize opportunities, and that's the mistake that a lot of people are making. They're not recognizing opportunities that cross their path, because they think it's something somebody else should be doing, but the opportunity presented itself to you. And you didn't recognize it because you thought somebody else should do this. How many times you say, man, somebody should be doing this? The opportunity just presented itself to you. Why don't you do it? And most folk won't, because they're scared. They are afraid. That's why they don't do it. They are afraid. See, they're afraid of the unknown. And that's one thing that when an opportunity come cross your path, because it's only going to come one time. When that opportunity come, it ain't going to come but one time. And if you don't take advantage of it, or you scared to take advantage of it, you're going to miss it. And you got so many people right now that's saying, man, I should have did this. I should have did that. And didn't. And now the idea gonna go to somebody else. And they gonna pay some attention to it. And then when you see it, you're gonna be like, man, I thought about that. I thought about that crazy idea. It's a whole lot of people, man, praying, asking God for a financial blessing that's looking for money. They ain't looking for the idea. They looking for the money. They want God to come down and put that money in their hand, and he send them an idea that's worth more than the money you asking. And you don't even pursue it. Because your mindset is, God, he gonna bring me some money. That money could be an idea. And you ain't paying attention. And see, that's why you have to be careful how you treat people, because the very person that you have issues with could be the one with your answer. Let me say that again. The very person that you have an issue with could be the one with your answer. And you don't know they got your answer, that they have your answer. But yet, you're nasty and you're rude, indifferent. Okay? So that's been how I have been able to recognize different opportunities. Because I served. That's how I got my caddy. This guy, may he rest in peace, Phil Mendelssohn. Not Phil Mendelssohn, Phil Mathis. He was in the funeral business. And one Sunday, he walked up to me and he said, Don, he said, Brother Don, I like the way you serve. I want to help you out. He said, here's my card. Go over in Virginia. And he said, when you get to the hotel, just walk around on the side street and walk down in the garage. Okay? And I want you to look at this car. And next Sunday, tell me what you think about it. Man, I go over to that garage, and it was a 1996 Fleetwood Cadillac. Last year, the big body. 21,000 miles, garage kept. And I went back and I said, Phil, this is a limousine. He said, I know, that's all I got. He said, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a great deal. Not only am I going to give you a great deal, I'm going to finance it for you too. Call this guy up and tell him that to finance this money. And I had $500 in my pocket because I was selling T-shirts at the time. And I said, you know what, man? I'm gonna take a leap on. Here's this $500. I'm gonna give it to you as a good faith deposit. I didn't know where that money was coming from, right? So you know, I was fired from Metro. Came home and a letter. Matter of fact, this wasn't even a legal letter. This one of them little short letters, handwritten. It had handwriting on it. Somebody hand wrote my name and address and the credit union, right? So I look at the letter and see it's from the credit union because I owe them some money. I threw it in the trash. I ain't even opened it up. I just threw the letter in the trash. I ain't interested in that shit. And I'm going through the rest of my mail, and Spirit of God said, no. Look in that one. Go back and look in that letter. Man, I opened that letter up, and there was a $3,700 check for a lawsuit that I didn't know nothing about, but I was a party of. And they said, if you cash this check, that's it. Now, I just got this limousine. I went straight to the bank and cashed that check. That's how I got my tags and my insurance for that limousine. She's sitting there. I still got her. She needs some work. She needs some work. But I said, that's how I got my limousine. That's how I got my limousine. And I started, well, I didn't have this style hat, but I started out, matter of fact, I was wearing a suit because I'm driving a limo. And I would go sit down in front of the hotel looking like a chauffeur. You know, and that's how I started. But it was because I served. This guy said, man, I want to help you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, cheeseburger. Thank you. And thanks to all the people that today my birthday. And thanks to all of the people that have sent me some money. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. But man, learn how to serve without any motives. Learn how to serve. Learn how to help. And see, and when you learn how to serve, man, it'll teach you about people. See, when you learn how to serve, you'll learn about people. And not only will it teach you something about people, but people won't intimidate you when you learn how to serve. See, because you'll be used to walking up to people. You're used to talking to people when you learn how to serve. Okay? And don't worry about them taking advantage of you. Don't worry. You just keep your heart clean. Okay? Don't you get sucked into the stuff that they doing. No, you keep your heart clean. Because that's what's going to talk to you is your intuition. Is going to talk to your heart. Do this. Go there. Try this. And a lot of y'all dismiss it, man. A lot of y'all dismiss it. A lot of y'all done had multi-million-dollar ideas and wouldn't embrace them because you were scared. What people going to say? What's going to happen if I fall? You're going to learn something about yourself. When you try something and it don't work and you fall flat on your face, but the Bible says a good man can fall 7 times and get up again. But the wicked will fall once and be destroyed. See, so if you're a good person, and what is a good person? Somebody that ain't gonna lie to you, ain't gonna steal from you, ain't gonna cheat you, ain't gonna deceive you. That's a good person. Dependable, walk in their integrity. That's a good person. That's a good person. And right now, a lot of people say one thing and mean something else. See, they can't come at you straight. And this is what we're teaching these young kids. How not to be able to come at people straight, but to try to come through the side door, the back door, or the window. We don't teach them how to come in the front door. But learn how to serve, man. Learn how to serve. And you'll there are a lot of opportunities that you'll start seeing. And some of them for you, and some of them ain't. And you'll know the difference. I remember, man, my wife, when she went back to the Philippines, the beginning of 2020, I was missing that girl, man. I was missing that girl bad. And that time, we had been apart about 6 months. So I'm going through my withdrawal because, all I had to do was get up, go to work, and come home, and everything was in order. I didn't have to do no laundry. I ain't had to iron no shirts. I ain't had to do none of that. All I had to do was just stay focused and get out here and try to get on my grind to make something happen. And we used to, and I'll tell you this story, but not right now. But we had this park we used to sit in and talk. And man, I was really missing. One day, I just pulled up in that spot where we used to sit and talk. And I was really missing my wife. And see, people used to always tell me I look like a conductor. They say, "Oh, you work for Amtrak? You a conductor?" And I would say, "No, I'm on the Underground Railroad," and that gave me an excuse to whip out a business card. I do Black History tours. Okay, so but people would always tell me I look like a conductor. Do you work for Amtrak? No. So I went and sat in this park where we used to talk, and all I heard was truth conductor. And when I heard it, I was like, whoa, wow. That was just my response. Like, whoa, wow. I picked up my phone. I said, man, let me see if this domain name is available. And it was available, and I bought it. That's how Truth Conductor hit me. Okay? And then about a week later, the definition came. See, let me tell y'all something. When an idea, everything has a definition. Let me say that again. Everything has a definition. If it's for you, you're going to be able to define it. You're going to have a definition for it. And see, in True Conductor, you're just a messenger from God, which is just a preacher. all my life, I've been told I was going to be a preacher, and I rebelled against that. And look at me, I'm now the Truth Conductor, a messenger from God. Okay? But I wouldn't accept pastor. Okay? I wouldn't accept that title, but I accept the Truth Conductor. and all a messenger from God is just a preacher. That's all that is. And when an idea is for you, you're going to be able to define it. You're going to have a definition for it, man. And if you look, because the first thing somebody going to ask you, what's a true conductor? Messenger from God. Which means anybody can be a true conductor. It's a messenger from God. Okay? So whatever your, the night Trump was elected, I went down to Trump Hotel, had my DC Black History Night Tour signed. At that time, I was sending people to Viator. And when I got out of the car, all I heard was guerrilla warfare marketing. That's what I heard, guerrilla warfare marketing. That's all I heard, guerrilla warfare marketing. And later, the definition came. Free marketing when the world is watching. That's guerrilla warfare marketing. You getting free marketing when the world is watching. That's why I started going down to the courthouse. Because the world was watching that. And I developed some free marketing. See, and it's historic. And see, and let me tell you, and that opportunity only come once. Only gonna come one time. Those events only gonna happen once. They ain't going so you can procrastinate and pass them up, or you can say, man, let me get in on this. I'm gonna take advantage of this. And see, and a lot of people might even be uncomfortable with your assertiveness because you ain't scared. They'll be uncomfortable with it because they are and you ain't. Okay? And again, when you learn how to serve, man, your antenna is always up, looking for opportunities. That's one thing. When you learn how to serve, man, your opportunity, you always gonna have your antenna up, looking at opportunities as they cross your path. And some people take advantage of them, and some don't. And the ones that don't are the ones usually that end up regretting. Because when you try something, man, and you fall flat on your face, it's going to teach you something. And if it's for you, then, see, because right now, my attitude with God is, look, God, you gave me this idea. You giving me these ideas. And, if you can't make them successful, then who am I to get out here and try? If God can't make his ideas that he passed on successful, why should I be worried about something? Because you gave me the idea. So it's up to you. All I got to do is get out here and do my part. That's all I got to do. It wasn't meant for me to get out there today and that. That wasn't meant. It wasn't meant. It wasn't meant for me to get out here today and get, man, 311. That's when my grandmother died. March the 11th. But yeah, do that, man. Okay? And again, man, you're not perfect. You're going to make mistakes. That's how you learn. And stop worrying about what people going to say or think because something might happen. And you'll be surprised at how many people right now that don't pursue an idea or a dream because they worry about what somebody else gonna think or say, or what they gonna look like if some adversity hit them. Imagine, man, if I was tripping because, I've been evicted and I got Black History Tours of DC. I got the answer for the world and be struggling. See, that's the kind of stuff that's designed to break you mentally. See, because adversity guards the door to success. If success was so easy, everybody be in there, and everybody ain't. And look how some people try to cheat to get in that success door. Some people take shortcuts. Some people even compromise to get into that door called success for whatever little short period of time they got. And I'm saying to you, man, you ain't got to compromise. You ain't got to cheat. You ain't got to deceive. Stand on your merit. And if you can't get in there on your integrity, you don't need to be in there. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And see, and that's another thing, man. When you learn how to serve from your heart, man, you'll walk in your integrity. You'll walk in your integrity when you're serving from your heart. And that's and of course this is what most folk don't know how to do. Serve from their heart, man. Because they always got a hidden agenda, an ulterior motive. It's just that simple. All right? So let me get out of here, man. I'll see y'all.